Welcome to the historic Inner Harbor of Baltimore, Maryland. Just a stone's throw away, you find M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Ravens. For the right to represent the AFC in this year's Super Bowl. Off we go on EA Sports. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll run with the former 7th-round draft pick, Isaiah Pacheco. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
We met with these coaches during the week, Mike. They told us the emphasis this week about getting the run game going early. And we see it here. Nice first play pickup. Fresh set of downs.
Once again, it's Pacheco. He'll work forward for a couple. It was Kevin Byard that time to make the play. Second down and 8. Play action here. Mahomes. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. On play action, it's Mahomes. His first throw of the game is going to be intercepted. And he's going to give his offense a short field to work with as they look for their first points of the game.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
A give right up the middle to Henry. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Nick Bolton, the linebacker, there for the stop. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. His first throw of the game is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Leo Chanel. And the Chiefs are going to have it at their own 32-yard line.
This is an area of the offense, Mike, that's going to have to find its rhythm now as this game unfolds. They talked all week, come out early, get some completions, settle down this quarterback. Well, in return, he throws an early pick. It's too early to go away from the game plan. There's a lot of game left, but this passing game is going to have to get on track throughout the rest of this game.
He'll air it out down the middle. That is knocked away. Incomplete. Good coverage there defensively. All over him. And it'll be 2nd down.
This offense is doing everything they can to quiet this crowd. And even though they missed on that long attempt, at least it sets the tone that they're going to continue to attack. If they can come up with a completion on one of those downfield passes, it's going to go a long way to settling themselves into this game.
This one complete right side. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. Now, Mahomes. Quick throw here is complete. Well, it's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
They'll come up to 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. One of the Ravens has it.
So the biggest thing that stands out here, Mike, is the fact that the defense just continues to pursue to the ball. Every defense focuses on get as many ball carrier as possible because,
and remember now, all turnovers have to be verified by a replay, so they might be taking a look at this one. Here's 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Tight end going in motion here. Mahomes from out of the pistol. He'll throw. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Mahomes. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
This pass rush is continuing to make their presence felt here in the early going. And for this quarterback, he's lucky to at least get rid of that ball because they were on the verge of recording their 2nd sack, and we're still here in the 1st quarter.
They come to the line needing 11 here on 3rd down. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. He'll get that complete to Isaiah Pacheco. It's a pickup of 12. And the Chiefs have a 1st down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often. So that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
Now Mahomes gives it to Pacheco. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. To throw is Mahomes. Caught by the tight end, Wiley. His first catch here in this AFC title game, and it's a 1st down.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
Look him up on a 2nd down and 8.
Yellow.
They'll stay on the ground and stay with Pacheco. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
Mahomes going to throw here on 3rd down. To the goal line and in. Touchdown, KC.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back. Even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan, everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Tylan Wallace now on the return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line.
DC, ready?
Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Set up.
Lamar going to work from the pistol. This one complete to Bateman. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they have an internal clock in their head. How does my protection match up with the rush and the route concept I'm trying to attack downfield? In this case, he's looking downfield, realizes quickly this ball's got to come out, checks it down to his underneath drag, picks up what he can.
Jackson now on 2nd down. That's to the left side and taken in by Coleman. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Every team in the league practices these situations every single day. That's a critical 3rd down, Mike. So now with this fresh set of downs, they got to just take a deep breath. Now you're really not so much playing against your opponent as much as you are playing against this clock.
And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play. So a quarter in the books in the AFC Championship. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back in Baltimore after this. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught. Derrick Henry. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So, you know, the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
3rd and short, Jackson. That'll be intercepted. Picked off by Max Melton. He's inside the 30. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Kansas City. We saw it earlier, the defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. And now, Greg, not only do they pick him, they turn it into a pick 6.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it a 2nd interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick 6.
Butker's extra point is good. And the Chiefs move out on top, 14-0. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This returnable for Wallace. A good return as he takes it across the 30. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He'll look for Flowers downfield. That is brought in. And they will bring this into the red zone. Big connection inside the 20.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
Open man is Bateman. He's got him. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
On the ground, here's Henry. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up 3rd down.
And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
He's got it at the 3. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
1st and goal, and it's Henry. And this one ruined quickly. Take him back to the 5-yard line.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Back to the 5-yard line now. 2nd down and goal. Bateman is the motion man. Again, it'll be Henry. And he's going to go backwards on that one. They take him down back at the 6-yard line.
And now with that stop on 2nd and goal, the defense really flips the advantage to their own favor. 3rd and goal from this length. I think now they can play a lot more pass-heavy defense and not be so concerned with the run game.
So the last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Jackson. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
Yeah, he's trying to make the best of a bad situation here, Mike. Nothing open downfield. He thinks he can tuck it and get it with his legs. He ends up out of bounds, short of the 1st.
On 4th down, here comes Justin Tucker for the Ravens. This, about as short as you can get. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens get their first points of the game. They trail 14-3.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Pacheco. Can he get away? No! He's taken down behind the line. Good job by the defense with a negative play.
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot for this crowd to be excited about on either side of the ball, but at least now the defense is trying to be that spark. Nice tackle for loss there. Can they do something to build upon to try to get this team going?
What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Play fake. Now it's Mahomes. He'll swing one out wide to Pacheco.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
Well, has been the case this entire first half. It's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
2nd down. Jackson. To the tight end, Likely. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. Jackson looking to throw. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
1:58 to go in the first half of play. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, it's Mahomes. He'll let one go down the middle. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Well, can't afford another incompletion here. Quickly, it is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. This caught right side by Worthy. His first catch here in this AFC title game, and it's a 1st down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points, but either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, You want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So, big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Tight end motioning left. Mahomes looking to throw on 2nd down. Got a man over the middle. It's Worthy. That's the 2nd time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards. 1st and 10. Now the Chiefs going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining until halftime. Slot man in motion left. 1st and 10 for Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend. The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. With some success here early on the ground, will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
Here's Patrick. He'll throw it on 1st down. He'll get this complete to Pacheco.
Great example of 1st down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
2nd down and 3.
Yellow.
Mahomes back. And that is Hunt in the end zone. He's in. Xavier Worthy. Touchdown, Chiefs.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the 4th quarter in 2-minute mode. But let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the 1st half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here going into halftime changes this entire game.
Final 9 seconds of this half, and the kick is away. This returnable for Wallace. And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you. They're going to be backed up now to start this drive. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. In the pistol, Jackson ready. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The 1st half has come to an end. All right, Coach, 2nd half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. The Lamar Hunt Trophy waiting to be claimed. 30 minutes away, unless, of course, we have overtime. We're back underway in the AFC title game. On 1st down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
At this point in the game, Mike, we just haven't seen a lot of fire out of this offense. Here's another run, simple handoff, no gain.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10.
180. Set up.
Jackson out of the pistol. Looking middle, he's got to complete to Coleman. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start. Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
2nd and 11.
Set up. 180. Set up. Set up.
From the shotgun, here's Jackson. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to take a shot. Sends it down the middle. Justin Reed that time with the tight coverage and the good hands.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And he'll give his guys a little bit more room to work with as he's able to get forward out beyond the 10-yard line. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Off the play fake. Mahomes. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
And a good one here. He'll be marked down up past the 25-yard line.
So as we take a look at the box score, Mike, you realize here they got the lead. We're in the 2nd half. But they don't have a lot of rush yards. It's because they use the passing game to score points and establish the lead. Now, how we judge their run game is from here to the end of the game. Can they pile up yards now in the 2nd half and close this game out?
Yellow.
Now a give to Pacheco, running right. Room to run at the 40. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off. Great job by the defense here, quickly realizing that this was going to be a draw. They're not caught off guard thinking that they're defending the pass. They're able to not only get in there for a stop, but they're able to take them down in the backfield for a loss.
Here's a 2nd and 12.
Yellow.
Off the play fake, here's Mahomes. He's going to let this one go for Worthy. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up 3rd down.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
Mahomes going to throw here on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, that's 2 straight plays now where this secondary has won their matchup. And right now the offense needs to find some plays that just call for easy completions. Get your wide receivers in space. Allow them to run after the catch. Because right now these downfield passes, the defense is all over them.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down.
Home one, ready?
On 1st and 10, Jackson. Looking into the middle, there's Flowers. And he'll be taken down up around the 32-yard line.
Nice way to start the drive here. Really good protection by the guys up front. Good decision by the quarterback to find his read. Ball's accurate, ball's on time. Now they're able to start this drive and get on the move the right way.
And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Max Melton. And he's going to score again. How about that for a daily double? The 2nd defensive touchdown he's scored in this game. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their 2nd pick 6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's 1 pick 6, but to get 2 pick 6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
This returnable for Wallace. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. A 1st down throw for Jackson. Flowers with the catch. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the 3rd quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
Jackson now to throw on 1st down. Now, deep ball for Bateman. That one broken up. It is incomplete. They tried the shot on 1st down, couldn't connect. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Pretty unforgettable performance so far in the 1st half, Mike, and they're going to try to figure this out here in the 2nd half and try to gain some momentum. Figure out what's going to work, where are our matchups, and let's go try to put a drive together and get some points because so far this has been a struggle, and they just cannot get anything going through the air.
Jackson now on 2nd down. That's into the hands of Coleman. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot.
Again, it's Jackson. They go right back to Coleman. He's got it again. Taking advantage of that running ability. Gain of 17 and a 1st down.
180.
They'll run out of the gun with Henry. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. A troubling development here in this AFC title game. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
180.
They send a receiver in motion left. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete to Coleman. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This has been a really good drive so far, but what I really like, Mike, is they're down here in the red zone, and they continue to attack. Now, not quite a touchdown, but with 1st and goal, this defense certainly has their back against the ropes.
They'll try to run this one in. This defense back up, but stepping up. No gain on the play. It stays at the 3.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
Report, report.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give him another shot. And this time, he's in. Touchdown, Ravens. Now Justin Tucker for the point after. His kick is good. And the Ravens are able to cut into the deficit. Out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. Here's 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. Looking middle of the field. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Well, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
He'll get this complete to Wiley, his tight end. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Here's 2nd and 6. Here's a toss to Pacheco. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. One quarter remains here in the AFC Championship game. This is the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. Here's 3rd and 7.
Yellow.
Here's Pacheco. And he's going to be taken down here. Looks like a pretty good spot, though. Yes, he's got it. That's a 1st down.
Yellow.
Here's Mahomes. That's complete left side to Worthy. And he will get into the end zone. Xavier Worthy. Touchdown, KC. He is shining in this postseason spotlight. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game. The extra point by Butker is good. And the Chiefs will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This is fielded inside the 5. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Now Jackson looking downfield for Coleman. And he's going to be marked down, bringing it all the way to the 25-yard line.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
That's to the left side and taken in by Coleman. A gain there of 11. First down, Baltimore.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
Alpha, sit on! Sit on!
Jackson now. It is brought in the end zone. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. Just a little payoff with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this one.
Extra point try now for Tucker. He's got it. And the Ravens are able to edge a bit closer. Out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. The dangerous Mecole Hardman on the return. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. On the ground to start the drive with Pacheco. Not much. Second and long coming up. Play fake. Now it's Mahomes. He'll swing one out wide to Pacheco. Nice gain here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line.
Anytime you have a running back like this, it's more about just how many ways can you get the ball in his hand. He's had a great game today so far on the ground. Now they're starting to find ways to get him the ball through the air, and that is a handful for any defense.
That is caught down the field. It's worthy. And he's going to be marked down, bringing it all the way to the 25-yard line.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, Mike. I don't think we're seeing an offense that is comfortable with this late lead. They're continuing to put pressure on the defense and say, hey, I don't care how much we're up by. We're going to continue to execute our passing game, and if there's opportunities downfield, we're going to continue to take them.
Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. A handoff to Pacheco. And he's in! Isaiah Pacheco. Touchdown, Kansas City. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
Here's Butker now for the extra point. That one off the left upright, but it bounds in. High degree of difficulty, but the doink gets a point. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. The return starts from the 5. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. To throw is Jackson. This one complete to Bateman. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough...